Hi, and welcome to potentially the most explosive episode of the We Need a Voice podcast, maybe ever. Will we even be talking to each other by the end of the episode? Yes, this is our top 10 films of 2025, and to say the journey here has been torturous would be accurate. There has been bullying, politicking, manipulation, outright lies, and backtracking from certain people. C. We've changed the way we've compiled the lists over the years. In the early days of the pod, we each picked our own personal top 10s, and the episodes would be over 3 hours long. Last year, we decided to give a point system to our top 10s to give a combined overall We Need a Rose top 10. That just gave us way too many ties, and that led to even more films being mentioned. That didn't work. This year, we decided to try and get a general consensus in a friendly, non-recorded chat so that we had agreed on a top 10 before the episode. That mostly happened, as you'll see when we get into it. And I am joined for this cinematic reckoning by my OG co-host, David. How's it going, David?
I'm a little scared for this episode. Marie scares me.
Like a ghost?
And she ain't gonna be happy, Neil.
Oh dear.
You wouldn't have to be scared of me if you didn't stab me in the back.
Oh, it didn't happen! I didn't.
Marie, when David hasn't allegedly been stabbing you in the back, how's your year in film then?
It's been pretty decent. I mean, one good thing about this podcast is that it does encourage me to go out and watch stuff that I would have never watched before. We've established that these guys get one horror movie request a year. So last year was Heretic. This year was Nosferatu. You guys can debate among yourselves what 2026 will be.
The Dong Temple.
No, because she hasn't seen the previous one. We'll have to think of something.
But Alpha Dong.
Yeah, no.
He's gonna wear pants in this one, though, right? The next one?
Bullshit. That's just for the trailers, Jose. If there isn't full Alpha Dong on display, I want my money back.
And I get accused of being the penis-obsessed one on this podcast. Like,
You know, he does.
Yeah, but
tell me
Marie,
he's back at Dick's a lot.
it was really impressive. Yeah.
And Jose, no, you know what you did, and I believe the phrase is snitches get stitches. And that's all I'll say.
Excuse me?
That's all I'll say.
If anything, though...
You know
You're
what
a grass.
happened.
You know what you did.
If anything,
You know what you did.
I think the way that this episode's going to go is the very reason why I enjoy being a part of this podcast. It's the discussion and the mostly amicable differences that we have. And so I'm very excited. I'm genuinely just excited for this episode.
Uh-huh. Yes. Mm.
I'm just proud that David actually got to the cinema this year. That was impressive.
David, for someone having a toddler, I have seen you at the cinema more than my friends who have got children who are 9 and 10 now. Like, it is. You have done well, my friend.
It's because it's my only time of peace I get.
And
Between that and going to the toilet.
And that's a lot of time.
Although
Trust me,
apparently we just heard you don't get a lot of peace.
other dads
Yes,
will get
yes.
that.
David, did you realise that when you went off to go for a to relieve yourself
break?
between recordings,
Yeah.
we could still hear you, and you went, "No, Evelyn, don't come in. I'm trying to. Daddy's trying to."
Oh,
leave."
yeah. I was trying to go for a wee. Yeah, she
Please
walked
put
in,
that clip in. That's
He's like,
hilarious.
"Ah!" It is time for the We Needed Roads top 10 films of 2025. May God have mercy on our souls. But firstly, before we get into the carnage of the main top 10, we each get to pick 3 films from our own personal top 10 lists that didn't make the overall top 10. Jose, what do you have first?
I'm going to go by calendar release date and say Companion is going to be my first honorable mention. I could tell by the trailer that it wasn't going to be quite what it was showing itself to be, and I was pleasantly surprised by what it did become. And I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but it is a great character-driven movie. Now,
Schmovie. I like
Schmovie.
and it is a great character-driven film. A lot of good acting and a fairly simple plot that's just executed really well. So I'll keep it
Great
to that.
cast. Yeah, I really
Good
enjoyed it.
laughs
It was,
as well. Good laughs
yeah,
in that film. Yeah.
it's a real what you call a black comedy, and it's
Yes.
Jack Quaid on his run of playing really nasty assholes in films, but really well. You're like, oh, it's Jack Quaid. We like him. Oh no, he's a dick. And of course, Sophie Thatcher, absolutely like coming out of Yellow Jackets and be like, oh yep, she's going to be like the next big thing again. I think, and yeah, really good film, really funny. It also had Guillermo from What We Do in the Shadows in it, and he was hilarious because he always is in everything he does.
I forgot where he was from.
What We Do in the Shadows. Marie, your first honorable mention.
My first one is one movie that honestly took me by surprise, and it's one of the most fun I've had in the cinema for a very long time. I even, like, this was a very last minute decision. I saw this very late at night. Only 2 other people were in the cinema with me, and that is Better Man. I mean,
See, I was saying the monkey movie. These guys were laughing when I was doing my monkey.
For a second, I was
They
like,
did.
what the hell?
I thought you were meaning The Monkey, and I was just like, I ain't gonna do the fucking movie.
I was like, when did
So-
Planet of the Apes come out? Like,
I think this year overall, like the movies that I was looking forward to the most disappointed me the most. And when it came to musical biopics, I didn't think I didn't think that I would love this, but just the way they did something new, because I think we're getting an onslaught of musical biopics about musicians, like ever since Bohemian Rhapsody. It's been like nonstop. I mean, this year we had what, 3 more? Like we had the Bruce Springsteen one that none of us saw, and Bob Dylan, which was very disappointing, which was my most anticipated one last year, and it disappointed me wholeheartedly. So yeah, Better Man, it was just fun. Like, I'm not even a big Robbie Williams fan or a big Take That fan, but what I admired about it is that one thing I think that why these biopics go so wrong is that they like big up these people so much, and they're worried of showing them in a bad light, and they're worried about like showing the bad side of this. And this one was just really like, yeah, Robbie Williams is a knob and he knows it, and that's why he's being betrayed by a fucking monkey. And just his narration that he did for it just added so much to the film. And yeah, it was just such a fun time.
I think for me, musical biopics have been ruined by a film from about 10, 15 years ago called Walk Hard, starring John C. Reilly. And it's almost a shot for shot piss take of the Johnny Cash film that Joaquin Phoenix won for. And I never saw that film because, like I said, when it comes to musical biopics, unless I'm really interested in the person it's about, I don't care. And like you said, a lot of these newer biopics, they don't, because they're so reverent of the subject, they don't tell you anything about them. There's no warts and all to it. I mean, I know the Elton John one went into it a fair bit. He was quite open, like Robbie Williams was about his stuff and that. But yeah, I mean, the Bob Dylan one we watched, Timothée Chalamet was like, "Yeah, I'm cool, I'm mysterious. This is only 4 years of my life. What was the fucking point of that?"
Yeah.
And the same thing with the Springsteen one again. It was like, "Yeah, this is about me making an album that really wasn't that big." Or like,
Oh, did
Pearl
you
White
actually
at
go
the time.
see it?
No, but I could tell you that's what the film is. And yet, and there was a funny thing is that someone did a shot by shot bits from the trailer from the Springsteen film with scenes from the John C. Reilly piss take, and they literally matched up the scenes. There's a scene where he's as a
No.
child dancing with his mum. That's in the fucking Springsteen trailer.
Wow.
That's actually in Walk Hard. Of course, Springsteen doesn't meet the Beatles in India, drop LSD with them, and watch them all get into a fight with each other, and with Paul calling Ringo the C word. Beautiful, beautiful scene. My first pick will not be on anyone else's list, but this is a
Surprise.
film this is a film. Shut your face, Jose. This is a film other than another film much later on that I have watched more than any other this year. I have seen this film 4 times, twice in the cinema and twice at home, and I can say it's a very niche choice. That film is Saturday Night, the Saturday Night Live movie. Has anyone else seen this?
You know,
To
I
be
almost
fair,
watched
I
it on a
tried
plane.
my best, but it never came out here.
Fair enough.
It was non-existent in Portugal.
So look, I would say I'm a massive Saturday Night Live fan, which is kind of a strange thing to say in the UK because we never got the fucking show till a couple of years ago, and it's been on for 50 years. I think my first exposure to it ever was when Wayne's World came out, and I think BBC Two at the time, back when we only had 4 channels of TV in the UK, Jose, 4 channels, and this was in the bloody 90s.
Wow.
For some reason, they were showing the little excerpts of Wayne's World on BBC Two, and that's where I caught it. So the film Saturday Night is directed by Jason Reitman, son of Ghostbusters Ivan Reitman, and it takes us into the unmitigated chaos of October 11th, 1975, as novice film producer Lorne Michaels, played by Gabrielle LaBelle, desperately tries to get the first episode of his sketch show Saturday Night on the air, against the backdrop of dismissive crew, fighting, stoned actors, and just outright hostility from network execs who want him to fail. And the casting for this is superb. All the young cast absolutely nail the personas of like the now legendary 75 original cast. Corey Michael Smith, he was the Riddler in the Gotham TV show, plays Chevy Chase. And I couldn't see that. When you see him as Chevy Chase, he nails the mannerisms, the look, the voice. He just is him. Dylan O'Brien, absolutely unrecognizable in this, as Dan Aykroyd. But then you see young Dan Aykroyd and you see Dylan, and yeah, nails it. Most surprisingly to me was two relatively unknown British actresses, Ella Hunt and Emily Fan, play Gilda Radner and Lorraine Newman, two iconic American comedy stars, and two young British girls played them. And again, absolutely nailed it. Tonally, this film reminds me of The Bear, with that simmering tension building throughout, up to this explosive moments. It's also really funny, and I think the speed of the film maybe loses some people who can't keep up with it. There's loads of one-er shots. It's like people running from one room to the other. There's chaos. I loved it. This is really one for the fans. If you know who the people are and who they're supposed to be, then you're going to get a much deeper appreciation of this film. Jose, this has to go on your Christmas watch list.
Yes,
sure.
And to be honest, I am a fan, and I was very excited to hear about it and see the trailer. But I'll be honest, it
wasn't around long.
No, it wasn't around long. And something that torpedoed my interest a little bit was that I heard that some of the events in the movie didn't exactly happen on the first day, but more just in the first season. Like there was a fight between, I believe, Chase and Aykroyd, or Chase and someone else. Belushi, there we go. And so I mean, mentally, subconsciously, I was like, well, okay, so it's not completely accurate. So the kind of mystique is a little bit taken away, but I still do want to watch it.
David, your first honourable mention.
Well, as we wanted to just move on so swiftly, I will say
the air is tall.
My first honourable mention was a little film that came out not too long ago called Wicked for Good, which is obviously the part 2 to Wicked that was released last year, and I very much enjoyed it, just as I very much enjoyed the first film. I'm a sucker for musicals. I really like Wicked the musical, although it is the second half of Wicked where, in the story, it does lose you a little bit. And you kind of have to just go along with it a little bit. And whilst the film does a very good job of putting it all together, it still has to follow the story from the stage show. So that sort of does bring it down a wee bit, which is why it wouldn't be super high on my list of films, because I genuinely really do love these Wicked films. I think they've done a really good job. I think Ariana Grande, so in the first Wicked, part 1, I did not expect her to be as good as she was. In this one, you do expect her to be good, and she still is fucking great. Every scene she's in, she bloody owns it. She's the best thing in it, Ariana Grande. And Cynthia Erivo is amazing as well. But Ariana Grande is she's I did not expect her to be awesome, and she's so awesome. I'm a fan now. I don't even like Ariana Grande's music, but I like her. But I really like her now. I'm going to listen to her music just because.
I'm really surprised Marie didn't jump in about being the best part of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to mention it. Unfortunately, he's barely in it, and
that does suck as well.
Yeah. And let's be honest, that scarecrow makeup was tragic.
It's really bad.
It's so bad. I laughed out so
loud. It's not
loud.
good, yeah.
Loud. And
for the uninitiated, I believe we're talking about Jonathan Bailey.
Yes.
I thought I even mentioned his name.
The sexiest man alive, Jose. That's who we're talking about here.
There we go. Goes without saying.
Yeah, sadly, he's not really in it. He's got very little screen time.
Yep.
You could probably 10 minutes. I don't think he's really, really not in it at all.
No, he's not.
Marie, your next task is to do a supercut of just the scenes from from part 2.
I think that already exists. I mean, the scenes where he is in.
I mean, you've probably bookmarked it already, right?
Probably.
Supercut with Jurassic World. It's a strange film, and not for kids. Jose, what is your second honorable mention?
My second honorable mention is actually a film that I kind of wish was in the top 10, but it just shows you how good the top 10 is. And that is F1 with Brad Pitt. And it was just a really solid film, really fun to watch. I'm not an F1 fan, and I was still very much entertained. I could tell there were cameos of people who I'm supposed to know, but it was just still really good. I mean, character driven film, lots of fast cars or fast race cars, and yeah, it was just I really had a good time in the theater.
And Marie, this was also one of your picks as well.
Yeah, I share this one with Jose. It honestly blew me away. And again, I remember because this was like the definition of a summer blockbuster. It was just so fun. Brad Pitt does such a good job at playing asshole. Like it's, I mean, I think that says something more about
Is
him.
he acting?
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say. But yeah, the way they shot it, they got me to care about Formula One. Like the scenes were like really full with tension and just the soundtrack that accompanied it. Again, this is another Apple TV production, so it looked visually stunning.
But it actually made the top 10 films of the box office of the year. So it's the first time Apple have had that big monster hit film as well.
And I mean, that's impressive considering like how... Like, I mean, this wasn't a cheap film to make. The fact that the two actors actually learned to drive those cars and were the one driving those cars, I mean, that is like really is impressive. I really find it funny since me and Jose are not Formula One fans. Like during my screening, there were some people who got a reaction, so I was just like, oh. He must be someone important, but I have no fucking clue who he is. But I think that just shows like how good like the story was and how engaging it was.
Yeah, we're planning to watch it over Christmas because it's just dropped on Apple TV for subscriptions now. I showed my dad the start, like literally the first minute, and it starts with Led Zeppelin, Whole Lot of Love, to like the opening race scene. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot you've seen Led Zeppelin live. So yeah, this is absolutely your kind of deal.
Your
and
dad's
David,
in Led Zeppelin.
Yeah,
that's fucking awesome, man.
I know.
So I'm the only one here that probably actually
knows who these people are.
Formula One and follows Formula One and would know these cameos, and I'm the only one that hasn't seen this film.
Yeah.
So
what'd you do with your fucking life, David?
I don't know. I don't know why I missed this film. Somehow I did.
Is it because I liked it? So you were like, oh no, I'm not going to watch it.
What if Marie went on about it? She just put you off it, David. That's what it is.
She liked it too much, Neil. Put me off. No, I don't know. Yeah, and I have a family friend, sorry, who is like quite a senior team running McLaren engineer. So
just gonna throw that out there.
And what did he think of the film?
I don't know. He's not that good of a family friend. He sends Christmas presents and birthday presents and stuff.
Good enough then.
Yeah, good.
Send them a copy of the film.
Here we go.
Oh, but it would be nice if Apple released it on physical discs.
Yeah.
Do they? I'm not sure. I think they might actually for this. I think this might be on the release schedule, I believe. I think I saw a 4K steelbook. And yeah, saying about the action scenes, and I'll just say, well, of course, because it's directed by Joseph Kosinski, who did Top Gun Maverick. So if you can make a plane do that, you can now make a car do that. What will he do that next? We don't know. But Tom Cruise will probably be in it.
Steam Train.
Steam Train.
It's a bit harder, but you never know. My second pick is The Ballad of Wallace Island. Again, another little British indie film, and it's based up on a short film titled The One and Only Herb Maguire Plays Wallace Island. It stars Tom Basden and Tim Key, and they expanded that short into the full Ballad of Wallace Island, and also stars Carey Mulligan. Now, Basden's Herb Maguire plays one half of a former big-time folk rock band called Maguire Mortimer, and he's struggling with his small solo-based pop career. So he takes a gig offered by an eccentric superfan, Charles Heath, played by Tim Kay, to play on his island for £500,000. Now, when you say island, don't think like, oh, nice island in the Caribbean. This is some rainy,
British Isle,
godforsaken island in the middle of nowhere in the UK. And we soon find out that the gig is actually an attempt by Charles to get the band back together, because he's also invited Herb's former professional and personal partner, Nell Mortimer, played by Carey Mulligan, to the island as well for the gig. Carey Mulligan might know a little thing about folk rock, as she is married to the lead singer of Mumford and Sons.
Ooh,
Mumford
that's cool.
Sons. Yeah, well, you know.
Jason Mumford. Is it Jason Mumford?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're
He's
married.
married to Jason Mumford. I didn't know
That's
that.
pretty cool.
Marcus Mumford.
Marcus Mumford. Where did I
Yeah.
get Jason from?
Carrie Mumford. Doesn't roll us off. Carrie
That's
Mulligan.
probably why she stuck with Mulligan.
Yeah.
Again, what follows is a really funny and gentle comedy drama with a melancholic edge as Herb deals with his past and his career struggles, and he's forced to confront these by Nell's unexpected appearance on the island. Mulligan and Baston are superb as the former partners, reminiscing on their past personal and professional successes and failures, and it doesn't go where you think this type of film is going to go. It comes from a much more honest and realistic place, which I really like. And Tim Key pretty much steals the film with his desperate loner Charles, who just wants to feel an emotional connection again through his favourite band. And he just manages to stay the right side of endearing versus creepy and weird. It's honestly a beautiful little British indie film that I think it's only about an hour and a half. Absolutely seek it out. It's a really gentle, fun film. Oh, and Tim Key, he is the slimy British guy, Marie, in The Paper. And he's basically playing, I don't think he's playing a character because he's the same way in this film, in the way he delivers lines as he is in that show. And I just think that's how he is. I haven't seen much of his comedy, but I believe that's just how this guy speaks and just his own personality. And was like, yes, just do more of that. It's funny or tragic in this case. So, yes. David, your second pick.
I'm going for one of the many Stephen King adaptations that came out this year, The Long Walk, which I'm sad didn't make our top 10 list. Because I think The Long
I really
Walk
enjoyed it.
was good enough to have made at least the bottom half of that list. It stars a amazing Cooper Hoffman and a rising, well, both of them rising actors, Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson. And it just tells the story of a group of kids who just have to walk for, I think, 3 kilometers an hour, roughly. They have to walk at a certain pace, and if they drop from that pace, they get warned, and if they continue to get dropped, they get shot. If they leave the road, they get shot. Basically, they get shot until one of them's left. Until one of them's left.
If they take too long taking a pee or a poo, they get
shot. So, and it's just the walk, it's the conversations, and it's the friends they make along the way, and this depressing nature of that. It's really kind of fucked up. It's one of King's earlier novels that was adapted. It's really, really fucking good. Really good film.
And as we can say, mate, you can really feel, because it was like a whole allegory for the Vietnam War stuff happening at the time.
Yeah.
Because King was in college when it was happening, and he was just like, yeah, I don't want any part of that. And it's also you can see from this where a lot of the Hunger Games ideas came from as well.
It's like the tension ramps throughout the whole film as to who's going to be the person that's left. You know it's kind of going to be the 2 main characters, but you don't know which one of the 2 it's going to be. Yeah, it's really good film.
And yeah, it's very dark, depressing, and it's also got Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill in it. I mean, this is where a lot of people say, if you look at the dystopian film and book genre, this is kind of one of the main things. In fact, and this is kind of where it gets into the Hunger Games thing, the guy, everyone accuses the Hunger Games of ripping off Battle Royale, and then the lady's like, oh no, I hadn't seen Battle Royale, and everyone's like, bullshit. The director of Battle Royale said one of his main influences was The Long Walk. So it comes full circle again. And ironically, who's the director of The Long Walk? Francis Lawrence, director of The Hunger Games. Love it when a plan comes together. Except when everyone keeps getting shot horrifically. Honestly, the bullet shots are just...
Yeah, they proper go through you. The sound of just one gunshot in that film is how the horror is created in that film is really clever.
So yeah, from that to... actually, Jose, this is your final pick. And this is also horrific, but for different reasons. Because it should be on anyone's list. It's basically a crime against cinema, really.
This has piqued my interest here.
Unless Jose's changed it from what he told me the other day, your third pick, Jose, is...
This is a film that I know is completely an honorable mention because it is a personal favorite, because some people don't understand how movies work, where you're allowed to enjoy things that aren't good. And if you haven't guessed it, it's Tron Ares. Look, let's be honest. This is not a great film, but it is not a bad film at the same time. If you look at the original Tron, it's objectively an okay film. It was mostly just relying on its visual effects. Tron Legacy arguably is a much better film, and I think debatable on how the quality of the writing is. I still enjoy it. Tron Ares sadly kind of fits in between. It has amazing visuals. The storyline's okay, and then just Jared Leto, son of a bitch. Like he
Why
really
is it on the list then,
drags-
Jose?
Huh?
This is what I mean. Why have you put it on your honourable
Because
mentions
I
then?
still enjoyed it. I love the visuals, and it's really just the immersion of it. The soundtrack's amazing. I think it's one of those definitions of movies you're allowed to enjoy, even though you know
I'm never
it's
watching
not
it
the
again,
best.
Jose.
I'll watch it a couple times.
It wastes Gillian Anderson. You have Gillian Anderson in it, and you waste her.
Again, I mean, it's not a perfect film, but it's not bad. She's in it.
Do you know what it is? They didn't have the balls to not have Jared Leto involved, admittedly, because he was a producer, so he was kind of him trying to get it made. But the real stars of the film, but other than the soundtrack and the amazing visuals, are Jodie Turner-Smith, who honestly could have just played Leto's role and been better at it than him, and Greta Lee. But obviously, big sci-fi film, we're not going to put two women in the leads and promote it, are we? Because we know what fanboys are like, sadly, in this day and age. And yet, really, it's their film. If you look at any of the press, Leto wasn't doing press for it. They were. Yeah. They were not out here trying to get his own. So, yeah, fair play to them. They were superb in it. And that's why it's not on the best films list, Jose, for me anyway, because it's not a good film.
One thing I just want to add, one of the things I found out about the whole Tron series is they were getting ready to film a sequel almost immediately after Legacy, but then the Disney buyout fucked it all up. But otherwise, I think it's fine. It's just a movie.
Low bar, Jose. Low bar. Marie, your final pick.
So my last one won't be on anyone's list because I saw this at the Lisbon Film Festival. This was the best movie I saw at the Lisbon Film Festival. It is also one of the movies where I honestly it was also one of those instances where I hadn't cried that much in a movie for a while, and that is a movie called Homebound. I recommend everyone to go watch this movie because it is just beautiful, but I will also just say I am sorry. It was one of those cases where when the credits rolled, I literally just sat in my seat, ugly crying, and then remembered that I had to catch a bus, and otherwise I would miss it. So I had to jump up and basically run my way to the station and catch my bus. I really hope it will get a wider cinematic release. I know that some films that were shown at the Lisbon Film Festival already have dates for wider cinematic releases, and I think it will get some award for Best Foreign Film down the line.
I was about to say, Marie, my question is, what country is the film from then, and what is the film about?
So Homebound is an Indian film, and it's a story about two best friends who are pursuing a career in the police as police officers, because that's the only career that will gain them financial stability and earn them some level of respect. It is set in modern times. It is based off a true story. I wouldn't say a plot twist, the date that this movie is set, but it takes a turn when halfway through the movie they start talking about a disease that is running rampant across the world. And we all know what that is because we all lived through it, and we just know.
Medieval, the plague.
I just remember like the second that, because it was just like a passing off line. It's like, oh, a lot of people are getting sick and it's starting to spread through the country. And like, I just felt my heart drop out of my chest and just go, oh no. Yeah. And it just takes you on a journey. It is so well acted. The friendship that these two boys share is just so beautiful, and just like the reaction, and then just like the cinematography is great. Like, again, highly recommended, but bring tissues and don't try to catch a last minute bus.
Wait. So Marie, a film that didn't involve animated characters and a film that didn't involve gay characters made you cry.
Exactly. That just shows you. That just shows
how good the film is. Homebound.
You know,
all right, we'll keep an eye on it.
That was a great review, but the whole time I'm thinking somewhere in that theater with someone seeing you rush away crying, wondering if you're okay. Because it's like, usually it's one thing to be crying while you're leaving and one thing to be rushing, but the cry and rushing out.
I've never seen a cry run before.
I
Just
mean,
coin the
no
term
one
there.
stopped me. I don't think anyone else gave a fuck.
No one would.
I mean, I was crying on the subway as well, and no one like adjusted it. And the person in front of me,
Portugal sounds fun.
yeah, the person in front of me had the lanyard of the film festival, so she knew what I was just living through, and she said nothing.
I'm giving you a long distance digital hug.
Honestly, the emotional support donuts I needed afterwards. It's but
Well, speaking of emotional support, my third film is I Swear. And again, another smaller British indie film. Now, I caught this at a recent secret screening, and I'd seen the trailer, and I thought I knew exactly what this film was going to be. And I was right. I just did not factor in how much this film would move me. Now, growing up, I vaguely remembered like this 80s TV documentary on the BBC one night. There used to be like a mainstream documentary show on the BBC once a week. And this one, it was called John's Not Mad. And it was about a young boy named John Davidson who had Tourette's syndrome. Of course, back in the 80s, the condition was barely identifiable then. And even at the time, people were being pretty cruel about it and thinking he was making it up. This is a biography of John's life story. And thankfully, the film starts in the present day. So you know it has a good ending.
Oh, cool.
So you're at least a bit more prepared for where the story is going to go. So, and again, the opening scene is fucking hilarious. And then it flashes back to him in his younger days when he first starts developing the condition. Robert is played in a breathtaking and absolutely unrecognisable performance by English actor Robert Aramayo, who plays Elrond in the Lord of the Rings TV show.
Oh.
Again, looks absolutely nothing like him. Look, and his Scottish accent, I thought the actor was Scottish. When I looked him up, I thought he was Scottish. He's English.
Wow.
So his Scottish accent is so fucking good. And he's a young actor who's, again, not really done a lot yet. I put a really positive tweet up of this on our socials. And his dad liked the tweet, which was nice.
That's
So
cute.
I love the fact his dad was just scrolling through Twitter looking for positive reviews about the film. This is a roller coaster of emotion, this film. Something tragic happens to John. Then he builds himself back up. And then the world knocks him down again. And then he gets himself back up. And then he gets knocked down again. And you're literally just like, you can see, and it's so predictable in the plotting, but in the best way, because you're just like, no, don't do that. Oh, no. And sometimes it's his fault, sometimes it's not. And as you're watching it, you're just like, oh, no. And it shows you how well the film's written, how well the performances are acted, that despite being completely obvious where it's going, it just absolutely pulls you in. And of course, here's the biggest thing about this film. This is what I almost had this on my main list. This was one I dropped from the main that I think I probably should have kept it in there. This is a film that isn't just there to entertain us, it's there to educate us. I'm fairly certain a large amount of people laugh at people with Tourette's syndrome because they don't understand the condition and they just think it's funny. Oh, that person's swearing, it's funny. Haha. This film does such a good job of educating the audience in a way that is entertaining, but also tells John's story beautifully. This is another smaller film that absolutely deserves to be seen by a bigger audience. And David, your last pick.
My third film to recommend this year is a Predator film that was released, but it is not the Predator film that is displayed behind me, Badlands. It is the film that dropped on Disney Plus earlier this year that I had no idea was even happening until it was out. And it was Killer of Killers, and it was the best surprise I've had, I think, of any film this year. I loved Killer of Killers to the point where I think it's it's definitely the best Predator film I've seen. And I put that as my number one of all of the Predators lists. You can go back and check our Predator Badlands review. It was on there when we ranked them all. Killer of Killers is my number one Predator movie. And I think once you get used to the animation style, which is very jarring at the beginning, once you get used to that, it's so, so good. It's the story of predators in different time zones, different heroes, different people that each take out their own predator, and they all come together at the end. I don't want to try and give away too many spoilers for it. I feel like I've already kind of said too much.
I think it's fine.
I would say that the film shows you your three main protagonists taking on predators in three completely different locations and time periods before a fourth chapter combines it all
Brings
together.
them all together. There we go, Neil. You're the man there. Well said.
And I would say the post-credit scene, oh my god,
It's so clever.
The post-credit scene in this Predator Killer of the Killers literally does what all the old Marvel ones used to do, where you're like, oh my god, that's awesome. They're going to do what with who? When? Yes, we want to see that now.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really clever. It changes the game for Predator films in just one wordless scene. It's just so fucking clever. I really like it.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's no dialogue in the scene, and yet it gives you almost Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark vibes, because you're just like, they're doing what? Yes. And now we need a sequel to that in live action. And Dan Trachtenberg's a man. It's funny, one of the things when we were talking about Predator Badlands, everyone was just like, oh, you got to give Dan Trachtenberg the keys to the kingdom. I was like, dude, he's made 3 Predator films. He has the keys. He's had the keys since he made the first film, really. Because Prey was
why
brilliant.
they're so good right now.
That's why they're so good. Exactly. Right. Well, we are close, but still not quite at the top 10 because
Neil's got a fourth one, hasn't he? He's got a fourth one.
I've got a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. I've got 12 more. No, as we should mention, that as we record this, the following films have not come out yet in the UK, most of Europe, and Jose's too busy to find out anyway in the States because it's that time of year, Jose. You're very busy. You're a very busy man.
Yeah.
Or films we haven't had the chance to see yet. That will probably be on other critics' lists. So, not going to go into details on these.
Sorry, comparing us to other critics like we're actually serious.
Hey,
we
good.
are critics.
We're good.
I'm very serious, Murray.
Yeah, I'm a serious critic of your face. Right.
Ooh.
Certain films that are on these critics' list that we haven't mentioned because we haven't seen them or aren't out. The Secret Agent, Marty Supreme, which is Boxing Day, The Voice of Hind Rajab, which was Claire's pick from the London Film Festival this year, Sentimental Value. Oh, it's the Elle Fanning, Stellan Skarsgård film. That's also out Boxing Day. It Was Just an Accident, which I think is an Iranian film that's been getting a lot of play. I've read up on it recently, and that sounds brilliant. Dropping literally as we recorded this, Knives Out, Wake Up Dead Man is out. The Testament of Anne Lee, which is an Amanda Seyfried film coming out soon that everyone's talking about her as Best Actress for. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Rose Byrne's new film where she plays a struggling mother with Conan O'Brien in it. Again, she's getting a lot of buzz for Best Actress for that. Nouvelle Vague, the second Richard Linklater film of the year, where he's done a film about the making of Breathless, the famous black and white French film. Yes, Jose.
Neil, I have to add one. I'm not sure you're going to mention it, but I have to mention it. It's a very important film that sounds like a sequel, but is not. Anaconda with Paul Rudd and Jack Black. That looks so funny.
And Jose
looks so funny.
That is out Boxing Day in the UK. And if we could just get the hashtag Marty Conda trending, I'd be very happy. Because that is Boxing Day is Marty Conda Day in the UK. Yes. I'm going to go and see Marty Supreme and Anaconda back to back. Yes. It has to be Marty first, then it has to be Conda second. Marty Conda. You heard it here first. Good shout, Jose. Absolutely. And then we have, I think in the first week of January here, but again, not out here yet properly, a film that's going to emotionally destroy us, Hamnet. They are trailing that hard at the minute. It is before every film. We also have Will Arnett's first film is a kind of a lead role. This is called Is This Thing On, where he plays a comedian, and it is directed by Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper's not a bad director. His films tend to do quite well. And then in our foreign films, we have No Other Choice by Park Chan-wook. So again, and then there are omissions, films that are on a lot of other people's lists, and some films we've seen that just didn't make it into the top 10 or in our honourable mentions. And we have Begonia, which was superb, but not good enough for me personally to get anything, despite being brilliant. Frankenstein, again, Guillermo del Toro, didn't make our list. Superman didn't make our lists. 28 Years Later, just missed out. I think it was definitely on your main list, David. Got Blue Moon, which is the other Richard Linklater first film that came out this year, starring Ethan Hawke, about one half of the team that preceded Rodgers and Hammerstein. I think it's Rodgers and Hart before he joined up. It's just Ethan Hawke getting drunk in a bar for the whole film, but amazingly so. And Margaret Qualley. Roofman, again, Channing Tatum, brilliant, really nice, heartwarming comedy drama. Pillion, if you're going to see one gay biker movie this year, when it eventually gets released, probably next year now, in Portugal, Marie, or on
Just rubbing
whenever.
salt in the wound. Yeah.
We also had the Phoenician scheme, which I completely forgot about until I was researching, which, Wes Anderson. I love a good Wes Anderson. Had Eddington, your boy Ari Aster's new one, David, which I think I'm the only person here who's seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
And Black Bag, which apparently was the...
Oh, shoot, I got to watch that too.
Yeah, the Kate Blanchett, Michael Fassbender spy thriller that everyone's raving about. But just to prove that box office success is not always a mark of quality, here is the year's top 10 films at the box office. Number 10, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Number 9, Superman. Number 8, F1. I think the first one we got on our list. How to Train Your Dragon. Number 6, Demon Slayer: Infinity Castle, an anime. Number 5, somehow, Jurassic World: Rebirth. Was it Jonathan Bailey, or was it the fact that kids always love dinosaurs, even shitty dinosaur movies?
It was Jonathan Bailey.
But not for the kids. That's what brought
bulge.
in the older audience.
I still think about
The kids were there for the dinosaurs. Number 4, a Minecraft movie, which we all said at the start of the year would make an absolute ton of money, even if it was a massive piece of shit. I don't think any of us have watched it.
And also, we all said we're not going to go see it.
Yeah. None of us wanted to be subjected to that, and I feel so sorry for cinema workers. At number 3, a film David only saw recently, with over $1 billion in probably the quickest time this year, and that is Zootopia 2. Number 2, yet more animation. Well, it's live action animation, but it's pretty much animation. The live action Lilo and Stitch, with over $1 billion as well. And the number 1 film that absolutely no one will go, what the fuck, from where? And then you'll go, oh yeah, China, where Marie's technically banned from. Nisa 2, which is a fantastical anime, again, from China. That has made $2.2 billion worldwide. So yeah, none of those films are on our list. And right, finally, thanks for sticking with us. Here is our top 10 films of 2025. And at number 10, because maybe of a bit of recency bias, and also I'm the only one who's seen it, we have Clint Bentley's Train Dreams. This recently dropped on Netflix and was probably not on anyone's radars at all. Certainly wasn't on ours, and this is a drama about the life and times of Robert Grenier in a career best performance by Joel Egerton. Honestly, an Oscar nom has to be incoming for this guy. And yes, I say that every year. Robert is a logger who lives a simple life in a Bonners Ferry area of Idaho, and the film follows him throughout pretty much his whole life, with occasional narration by Will Patton. We see him meet his wife, start a family. He lives in a nice log cabin he builds with his bare hands. We see him at his job as a logger, how dangerous that job is, and how he struggles with being away from his family for so long. It's a beautiful, elegiac film with an undercurrent of melancholy as we see Robert try to deal with the changes in the modern world around him. Felicity Jones plays his wife in a much more joyful performance than the last time we saw her in The Brutalist, and there are also much less awkward handjobs in this film. And the kid playing their daughter, David, this is one of the best child performances I've seen on screen, if that makes sense, because she doesn't feel like a child acting. It literally seems like you see a little toddler looking at something, and it literally feels like they've just told the kid's just being a kid. Like, I don't know how to describe it better, but you're watching this child's performance going, that's not a performance. That's literally just a kid being filmed being a kid. And it's really, really well done. Like, I know I'm watching a small child in the moment, but not an older child acting, if that makes sense. Also, it's a brilliant supporting cast. William H. Macy, Clifton Collins Jr., and Kerry Condon from F1 is in it as well. And she's, again, becoming quickly an actress who's brilliant in everything. She's always brilliant in everything she's in. Now, I've seen people compare this to the work of Terrence Malick and Richard Linklater, and I can definitely see the parallels. This is a film about the small moments of a regular life that make up life. That rarely are the big moments shown or dived into, and it's a really restrained internal performance by Edgerton for the most part. I'll be interested to see all your thoughts on this, because this film has split film Twitter down the middle. Is it a Milkian meditation on life itself, or is it a boring rip-off of what art and film should be? I'm in the first camp. I think it's a beautiful meditation on life. Eat a bag of dicks, Jose. And I also have to shout out the film's cinematographer, Adolfo Valesco, because the framing and composition and lighting in this film, they're all Oscar caliber work. It looks beautiful. I'd highly recommend you all see it, because it is on Netflix now. At number 9, David, your number 1 film of the year.
Nosferatu!
This was the first film that most of us saw this year, and it's done very well to hang on in there, to be honest. And it is a remake by director Robert Eggers of the classic 1922 F.W. Murnau's Nosferatu, A Symphony of Horror, starring Bill Skarsgård as the titular creature of the night and Lily Rose Depp as the object of his obsessions. This film proved one thing. It proved Depp could act, given the right director, and after some earlier panned performances early in her career. Nicholas Hoult gives one of the best on-screen reactions of pure terror you'll ever see, and there is brilliant support from Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Emma Corrin, and William Dafoe. But as we all know, the purest horror came from the moustache. David, why is this one of your picks of the year, and why did you rate it so highly?
I'm a big fan of Robert Eggers. As a horror film goes, this could not be more my kind of film if it tried. You could maybe remove the mustache, and it'll be like just a bit better. But as far as like the cinematography of it goes, the storytelling of it goes, the slow build of dread, horror, just everything about it, even like to the fact that they weren't afraid to kill children, right?
Oh,
There's everything in this film is exactly. I mean, this is gonna sound weird now that it's my kind of horror film because they killed children, but as the only one here that has any children,
I mean, you've made it weird.
But it is genuinely my film. If I could make my own horror film, it would be like Nosferatu. That's why I loved it so much, and that's why it was my film of the year. And I think people would maybe forget about it a little bit because it came out so early.
Yeah. It was out New Year's Day, so it literally is like the oldest film of the year.
That's so early.
Yeah.
But I adored this film. I can't wait for Eggers' next film.
Werewolf.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is again, I just know it's gonna be exactly what I want it to be.
Well, do you know what's gonna be interesting with that? He's apparently the dialect is all Old Middle English, so people are gonna be talking like in Canterbury Tales style in it. And also, he's cast Lily Rose Depp in it again. And I think just all the cast from he's a bit like a horror Wes Anderson. If you work with him and he likes you, you'll be in all his films going forward.
That's like most actors, though, kind of. Like, I mean, most directors, sorry. Yeah, that's quite similar. But
William Dafoe. I might be interested to see Nicholas Hoult and everyone rock back up in it again, because, yeah, it's going to be great. I'm just looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm a big Eggers fan, man. I've got everything he's released on 4K up there.
Including Nosferatu?
No, I'm waiting for the special version of that to come out. They released just a basic bones version. I was like, no, I want all the glossy stuff that comes with it. I want the book. I want the 4K remaster. I want all the stuff. I want the fake tash that comes with it. Anyone else got anything to say on Nosferatu? Because I think not really, because they
never watched
something up.
Jose, why?
This was a busy year.
You need to watch.
I watched a lot of YouTube, which is probably not great either.
No, it rots your brain.
Yeah. Well,
except our show, which you should definitely.
You need to be watching a man with a mustache that
be terrifying
haunts you
with
it
haunts your penis that he shows.
Doesn't haunt. Yeah.
How do you know about that? But you haven't watched the film.
About it, guys. You guys like.
He does have a little penis slip in it.
Obsessed with it. Yeah.
I was just like, wait, was Jose on that episode?
I was
out. Yeah, Alpha Dog.
There was a good period of the summer. I didn't participate in a few episodes.
This was the start of the year.
Jose came out New Year's Day everywhere. It came out Christmas Day in America. You had a week before us.
I'm just gonna walk backwards out of the frame.
He's not even walking. He's lying. Everything's
a lie
with him.
Rolling out of the frame. On to the next movie. Yeah.
Moving on to number 8, we have the year's first MCU film and arguably the best superhero film of the year. It wasn't Superman. It wasn't the Fantastic Four. It was The Thunderbolts, a film that no one really wanted, that felt like a cobbled together, who do we still have under contract that we have to finish off? The Thunderbolts somehow emerged triumphant. Led by The Pew as Yelena Belova, we finally got a superhero film that deals with trauma and depression as the main villains, while piecing together an easy alliance with the rest of Marvel's B and C team, bringing in David Harbour's Red Guardian, White Russell's John Walker, Hannah John Kamen's Ghost, and then, of course, Bucky, the man, Bucky Barnes. And he shows them how to superhero correctly in a brilliant Terminator 2 inspired action scene. We also finally find something for Julia Louis-Dreyfus to do as Allegra Fontaine, because everyone was like, oh, she's not very good in the other stuff. And no, because she had bad writing and nothing to do. She is an amazing actress. Just look at Seinfeld, look at Veep. She finally gets something good to do in this film. And of course, we are introduced to Bill Pullman's Bob. We won't spoil the Bob revelations here, or indeed the end of the film that even Marvel did just days later on their social media after the film came out. But yes, This was a surprisingly emotional film that is a genuinely funny, action-packed team-up movie, and of course, it had that end credit scene. Marie, why did Thunderbolts hit so hard for you?
It was such a fun one. It was such a welcome to surprise. I was really feeling the Marvel fatigue here. And I think main reason I only saw this was because of Sebastian Stan and Florence Pugh. Like, I don't discriminate when it comes to gender. Oh, but that motorbike scene. Sorry. Anyway, but I also I saw it in the cinema, and then I recently rewatched it again, like just a couple of weeks ago, and it was like experiencing it all over again. It is so funny. It is like the action sequences are great, and then just like the final like third act just like takes you out by storm. Like we didn't really predict like that would be the ending, and the fact that like obviously as a champion of therapy and mental health, I do really like that they did something different when it comes to the third act of a superhero movie. We didn't get the dreaded sky beam.
I was waiting for that.
And it just had so much heart, but also it's so quotable. There are so many great lines.
Like
cucumber is my favorite, or none of us fly, we all just point and shoot. Like, it's just and then or Bucky's entrance was just brilliant.
He got his own music.
The sunglasses, the hair, everything was just worked. Or when they stormed the tower and she's like, the door's open, like just walk in. Like, it's just like all these like little jokes that still made me laugh out loud.
I appreciated the rescue of the guinea pig near the beginning.
Yeah, it's
because when we saw the trailer, we were like, why is she carrying the guinea pig?
Yeah,
and we found out the guinea pig wasn't important to the plot, to be fair, but
no, and we don't know what she did with it after.
Gave it a good home and fed it.
Yeah,
that's what she did.
Or another favorite line: your insubordination will be reported to DoorDash HQ. It's just another such a good one.
I mean, I've got to be honest, Marie. I have not remembered any of these lines you've said to me.
Yes, because it's you, Neil. You don't remember what happened yesterday.
You literally forgot the ending of a movie as you were walking out with David. So.
No, I didn't understand the movie. I didn't understand that movie. It had no presence. That's all I'm saying.
For me, what Thunderbolts proved is that it went back to its roots by making a movie about characters and showing them evolve throughout the film. And I would say that it reminded me of the first two phases of the Marvel movies. It really focused on the people in the movies more so than the big fights.
I started watching this the other day because you guys were all talking about it and I knew it was on this list. I hadn't seen it. So I started watching it and I got to the point where they're in the little courtroom bit and then I have no idea why Bucky is a senator. Why the fuck is that? Why? And then I have no idea. And then they start talking and referencing the Captain America film. So I'm like, fuck's sake, I'm going to have to pause this one. Go watch the fucking Captain America film.
No, you don't. Wikipedia it.
Which is exactly what I did. So I paused that and started the Captain America film instead.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no.
You wasted time.
And I got about 10 minutes into both of them. And so,
I did watch the Captain America film, and I could follow it.
Film, the beginning of it, where she rescues the little guinea pig, the hallway shot, really like beautifully done, camera angle, all that sort of stuff. But it annoyed me while no one just didn't fucking shoot her. They all just
because it would have been a short film,
just fucking shoot her.
You can't shoot the pew in the opening scene.
You can. They could have easily just got out their gun and gone bang. They even had tasers. If they didn't want to shoot they could have tasered any. No.
That's just basically any action movie where there's a fighting scene. John Wick does that. Like, why didn't they just shoot him? Well, I mean, he has a bulletproof suit, but still. That's
why
I know. I think I'm just done with. I think with Marvel.
David, I would say read the Wikipedia for Captain America because it's not worth your time, and go back because Marvel have been that impressed by the work that director Jake Shear did on the Thunderbolts that he is now making the X-Men film.
Oh, really? Oh,
I feel like this isn't new information. I feel like we knew this.
No, we didn't talk about it. We did not talk about it.
It was in the group, Jose. I definitely dropped it in the group.
Reaction for the audience, Neil.
Those 12 people are going to be thrilled.
They will be.
The 12
Sorry,
listeners
120.
are important. They're important.
Viewers, Jose, this is video. See, they can see your face.
Yes, they're important. You're important. We care about you.
We're all important, Jose.
Yes.
And that's the message of the Thunderbolts. Full circle.
Hey, look at that. You brought it back.
Moving on, let's flow from one film to another. And at number 7, oh, look at the anger, David. And yet this is Marie's favourite film of the year.
Is it? No, it's not.
It is.
Number 7?
Yes. I imagine the only flow at the minute is a flow of tears from Marie. That flow has dropped down our list to number 7 because David finally saw it and thought it was just fine. I mean, saying it's fine is almost like drowning the cat, right, Marie? The winner of this year's Best Oscar Animated Film is a nice little Latvian film by Gins Ziabalodis about a black cat looking for safety in a world devastated by a great flood. He then joins a bunch of various other animals on their journey to find refuge on a boat that they have, and then they learn to work together to survive. Now, I enjoyed it, and I actually got to see it twice this year, once at home, and then once on an outdoor screen on a canal in London, where I had this moment of perfect symmetry, where a cat is looking at their reflection in a puddle, and then that shot was reflected into the waters of the canal. I've got a picture, and actually, that is the definition of the Scorsese meme of pure cinema. Marie, this is the film you talked about. This is all you talked about earlier in the year, and in your Lisbon Film Festival roundup, you said this is your favourite film of the year. Let the tears flow.
For me, it's very rare that I go back to the cinema and rewatch a movie. I usually just see a movie once in the cinema. With Flow, I was back there the second week, and the first time I watched it, I made the mistake of not bringing tissues, and I cried and snotted all over the place. And then the second time, I did bring tissues, but I naively thought, oh, this is the second time I'm going to see it. I'm not going to cry as much. And then I started crying before the movie even started, and the guy sitting next to me with his son looked at me a little bit weird. So I mean, I love everything about this. I love the fact, I love just the animation. It is beautiful. I love the fact that it's like a silent film. There is no dialogue. It is a movie of just raw emotion. Like, I love that you can take this movie as it is, but there is also so much symbolism built into it. I love that it's a small independent film. I love the creator of this movie. He is just adorable. Like, after every award show, he was in In-N-Out, and he posted a little photo of himself with the Oscar and the Golden Globe, just enjoying his burger at In-N-Out. It is so cute. I just
Jose, can you just pass this to Marie, please?
I loved
Questioning why you have tissues next to your computer?
It's a hanky. A handkerchief.
We're talking about a beautiful, whimsical film here, guys. Keep it.
Sorry.
But I also loved Latvia's response to this. They displayed the Oscar in the town hall because they were just so proud of this little movie about a cat. And just like hearing the director speak about the movie, and as well, and like it's a story about like finding your friends, but also that it's fine sometimes to be alone. It's fine to sometimes be living in like to be more like independent or antisocial, because he says I'm like that as well, which that relates to me as an introvert as well. And yeah, and it was just that the music. I listen to the soundtrack when I'm doing work. Now it's obviously been replaced by another soundtrack, but it's just so gorgeous. And yeah, it's honestly the only like downside to it is that it's generally one that I think you do need to watch in the cinema with amazing audio in the pitch black and just let the emotions flow over you.
Or on a canal in the sunshine in the summer.
That could work too.
In a deck chair with an ice cream.
I see that could be a very magical experience as well. Like the only way that could be made better if you had like a black cat literally sitting in your lap.
Oh, they should have done that. Rent a cat with your seat. David, why do you hate cats?
I don't hate cats.
He just hates me.
Yeah, Marie loved it too much.
She overhypes it, makes it hard.
I watched this one, and yeah, no, I think I don't. So I don't disagree with anything Marie said. I think it was very beautiful film. The fact that it was all done by the one, like, it's crazy. How
I mean, he did have a team this time.
I mean,
but it was a
it was
small
quite
team.
a small team, yeah. So I mean, that's just insane how it was all put together like that. I don't understand how she cried. Like, I mean, do I cry? I am a crier in movies. Like, even the slightest emotional thing, and I'll be like bawling.
I'm the cat.
There was nothing emotional about that film.
I feel it's just because you're a dog person, David.
I mean, the
You're a dog
crane, like the
person.
crane scene where the crane was like,
or when
has
the
to, like-
water first hits and she's struggling to get above water.
the
Or,
cat
like,
pissed me
watching-
off. I'm not gonna lie, the cat pissed me off.
See, this
I
is
kind of
where
wanted
I-
it to die at one point.
This is where I generally feel like a personal attack because I've never related to a character more. Like, I am that cat, so I'm like I'm honestly wondering, have I insulted David's family or something like that to gain this aminosity thrown towards me?
So the cat annoyed me because it kept it kept pissing off everybody else. Like, it just at some point, like, it was fishing at one point or something, and then it was selfish. You know what? The cat was selfish.
No, he was giving the fish to other people.
I can't remember why I thought that at the time. You know what? I can't remember why the cat annoyed me, but it did at certain times. It was not the capybara. The capybara was the goat of that film, and that's only because it didn't have a goat.
I mean, technically, it was the capybara of the film.
It was the capybara of the movie.
Can I share?
But no, I don't disagree with anything you said. It just wasn't. Maybe
For
because
you.
I didn't see it in the cinema, as you mentioned, which was a big deal for you. Might have played a big part in it. I watched it just with my wife one evening.
I will agree.
Um,
I enjoyed it much more the second time on a big screen. Whereas at home, I think when there's just more distractions, it's much harder to concentrate, especially on someone that doesn't have dialogue. So it just goes to show it. Go and see films in the cinema, people. Keep the cinemas going. Now, at number 6, a place where, thank God, the cat didn't end up, because it is Predator Badlands. This film had no right to be as good and as fun as it was. But I told you, we always trust in Dan Trachtenberg. And I think I speak for myself, David, and Jose when I say we all love this film. The criticisms of it, that it's not a proper Predator film because a Predator is a protagonist and they aren't manly men hunting it down. It's bullshit. We've seen that film 3 or 4 times and none of them have come close to the original. And Trachtenberg's reboot of the franchise with Frey proved a woman could do it first and a Native American. Even when that first idea came out, people were like, oh, well, how can a Native American woman take down a Predator? That's bullshit, man.
As of recording, the Predator Badlands is now the highest grossing Predator movie of all time, with over 170 million worldwide. But you'd think it'd actually be a lot higher, but I guess not every movie can be a Marvel movie.
That's the highest grossing Predator movie at 170.
They're not a massive franchise, but then
Yeah.
again, they never cost a lot to make.
They're just popular. They're just really popular.
But look, so the idea of Predator Badlands was we have the runt of the litter, Deck, played by, I think he's a Kiwi actor, Demetrius Schuster Colomantangi, and he is sent to the death planet Genna, which is basically space Australia, to kill the unkillable monster, the Kalask. Deck is a little bit out of his depth and immediately gets in the shit, like with seconds of landing on the planet. But thanks to half of Ellie Fanning's simp, Thea, she saves him, they team up, and then they go on a little bit of monster hunting. And essentially, that's the film. Do they make Deck a Disney princess by adding cute animal sidekicks? I don't care, because they're all awesome. This is just so much fun. We get some great nods to the Alien and Predators franchises, some nice inversions of what we'd expect from those films, and a great end scene that either works as a standalone joke or a setup for another film. And I think, as Jose just told us at the start, the film cost 100 million to make, and yeah, what was it made now, Jose?
Over 170 million worldwide.
Jose, David, I only have one question for you. Do you have time to bleed?
I ain't got no time to bleed. I think that this made enough money to where they're like, all right, let's take it seriously now again, and let's
make the sequel to Killers of Killers live action with all the money and all the budget? Yes. Honestly, Marie, I think we could even sell you on this because it's fun.
It's fun.
No, it's not a horror film. It's not a horror film at all.
And there's technically no blood because it's either an alien dying or a cyborg dying.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Cyborg blood is white, and
Predator blood is green.
the Predator blood is green.
It's just
fun.
super fun. The final
so
act,
fun.
the final acts of the film, well, the final 2 acts, I suppose, are just brilliant.
Yeah, you know how
Brilliant.
like most films taper off in the middle and towards the end, and they don't hit the landing. This starts off well, gets better in the middle, and then, like David said, the last 2 acts it just ramps up, and you're like,
Pays.
I think it's the
And
most
it just-
entertained
Yeah.
I've been in the cinema all year. Those final 2 acts, definitely better than like the Superman or like the Running Man, which I hoped would have been there. It was shit.
I mean, I personally had Superman higher, but I guess this is our combined
yeah,
list.
Chekhov's Predator.
Chekhov.
It was just fun.
It was a solid
so
movie.
fun.
Super fun.
Yeah, loved it. Well, a film that I don't think fun is the word, but let's just say at number 5, it's a film to enjoy with a few small beers. And if you get that reference, it means you've seen the film. Or if you're David, it's still
I
means you
have
don't.
seen the film.
You
I
just still
now
don't get
know
the
the reference, but when we were going through this earlier, I completely forgot about it.
Yes.
There's so much in this film.
But
Okay.
for some reason, that is the bit that people have cottoned onto, which is should probably let people know what we're talking about. The film at number 5 is Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another. And I honestly had no idea what to expect from this. The trailers were totally all over the place. But hey, it's a PTA film, so you just know you have to go with it. And the film is based on the book Vineland by Thomas Pynchon. And he'd PTA earlier adapted one of his previous novels, Inherent Vice, as well. Now, just to get it confusing, and I didn't know this before I saw the film, David, in the book, the present was the 80s with the past in the 60s. And the film is set in the modern day, but with the past, I'm guessing in the late 80s, early 90s. It was really unclear to me. And like me and David said, the first 20 minutes, half an hour of this film, we're just like, what is going on? When is this set? What is going on? It felt like, and the dialogue sounded like something Tarantino wrote. You're just like, people don't speak like, well, it just really threw us. And then there's a time jump, and then it settles down.
It
and you're
sort
like,
of just clicks, man. With the
Yeah.
film, it gets to about that 50, 60 minute mark. For me, it was there
50,
was a very
60.
specific, oh, dude, it's a 3 hour something.
Oh
Film.
yeah,
yeah, it's over
So
3
it
hours.
takes, it does take a while, but then when it's there, you're like, holy fucking shit, this is great. Editing of it doesn't take long to get to 50 minutes, and it doesn't take long to get to 3 hours. The film just disappears whilst you're watching.
Wow, that's good
Because
to know.
it's so fucking well put together. Well, like, everything just smoothly clicks into place perfectly throughout it.
I'll try and explain a tiny bit of the plot just to kind of so you have an idea of what it's about. We meet Leonardo DiCaprio's character Pat, who is part of a far-left revolutionary group called the French 75. They break out detained immigrants from immigration centres. They attack politicians' offices, banks, and the power grid. Pat has a child with the amazingly named Perfidia Beverly Hills, played by Tiana Taylor, while Sean Penn's like a military bro called Stephen J. Lockjaw, who tries to hunt them down. The film then jumps forward 16 years with Pat's daughter Willa now in danger and their location exposed. And it's essentially then kind of like a chase movie with DiCaprio and his daughter on the run from Sean Penn's character. So DiCaprio kind of has to, and it's funny because when he was younger, he was like this, revolution guy. I mean, highlights, right, are obviously the whole cast with a special shout out to the superbly named Chase Infinity, who plays Willa. Penn is in Oscar contention again. As
he's got to win. Sean Penn has got to win. For
he's
best supporting
such a
actor.
piece of shit in this film.
I mean,
He's
dude,
horrible.
he's so fucking good. Sean Penn, almost unrecognizable.
Wow.
But then Benicio del Toro waltzes in for a handful of scenes and almost steals the whole film. Like, he gets stopped by a cop. This is the reference that I was making. He gets stopped by a cop at one point, and he's like, "Have you been drinking?" He's like, "I've had a few small beers." And she's just like, that's literally the meme. And that's like the line that has sprung up from the film. Like, we had a hit. I like piggybacked on a hit tweet the other day where someone took a picture of their cat watching One Battle After Another, and they went, "He's locked in." And I just put underneath, first comment, "He just needs a few small beers." And that was like up to like over 10,000
Wow.
views a little while.
That's awesome.
Hey, parrot on someone else's good ideas, man. Visually, it's amazing. The car chase in the film's final third is an all-timer. Honestly, Paul Thomas Anderson's films feel like a throwback to the 70s. Just the way he chooses what shot to frame. You see shots lesser filmmakers would even consider doing. It kind of reminded me when I saw Jaws in the cinema last year, and I was kind of watching it going, holy shit, only Spielberg would think to stick a camera there, and PTA is like a modern version of that. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to put the camera in. So, will it be one battle after another to get Marie and Jose to watch this? Marie, I should mention that you've mentioned before you're not a fan of Paul Thomas Anderson, but you've only seen 2 of his films, Phantom Thread, which was, split audiences, and Licorice Pizza, which also split audiences.
Ooh.
You haven't seen the mastery of Boogie Nights, Magnolia, and the first person to ever get a great performance out of Adam Sandler in Punch Drunk Love. Give this a chance, honestly. After the first 20 minutes or so of like, what the fuck am I watching? Then it starts to cook, and it's so fun. Jose, you're going to watch it, right? You got a spare 3 hours right about now?
Eventually, but I haven't watched Killers of the Flower Moon, so we'll see.
Watch this before that. It's a much
Okay.
better film.
Scorsese's like, can he just do an hour and a half film one day?
Look, when you're Martin Scorsese,
Yeah.
do you know you can actually buy his original short films on DVD, like all his shorts he made before he started
Really?
making longer films?
Who's that? Sorry, what?
Scorsese. You
Yeah.
can get all his like short films before he did like Boxcar Bertha and Alice Doesn't Live Anymore. I could go on about Scorsese for ages. At number 4, we have a film called Sorry Baby. Now, I saw this at a Sunday night unlimited screening, and I went in blind, knowing only it was an indie hit from the States, and it featured a woman holding a kitten on the poster. I joked hopefully beforehand that it was hopefully going to be a heartwarming tale of a woman and a cat. And I'm kind of right. It is actually the story of Eve Victor's Agnes, who was a literature professor at a liberal arts college in New England, and how she and her people around her deal with the aftermath of, shall we say, an unpleasant incident. I mean, I said to you, David, there are some absolutely searing lines in this film, especially at the hospital after the event, that walk the line between comedy and drama so expertly. There's literally a jaw-dropping line that is said in that hospital scene,
It's
isn't it?
really, really clever. The doctor's there, sort of after she goes to the hospital
Straight to the hospital, yeah.
afterwards, and the dialogue between the doctor, her, and her friend is so fucking funny. But after that incident, and like so dark and funny, and how that is like a fine thread to bear, like that is a really thin line to walk, that, and it's so clever how they do
But
it.
it does it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. The film walks the line between drama and comedy so expertly. And I mean, let's say, just making a film on this subject matter, it's not exactly screams out, oh, this is going to be a big hit, but this was a massive indie hit. I mean, I'm not talking to maybe terms in box office, but for raising the profile of Eva Victor, the creator of it, I mean, they've absolutely smashed it here. They wrote it, they directed, they starred in it. This is their first film at the age of 32, and I can't wait to see what they do next. Later on, we see Agnes acquire a kitten off the street via the cat distribution system. It is a very cute kitten, and there's a scene where she smuggles it into the store and she's trying to hide it in a jacket, and the store person's like, have you brought a cat in here? And she's like, no. Like, the head's like poking out and looking around. It's so cute. It's so funny.
It's exactly how I'd imagine Marie would be if she was to ever get a cat. She'd just be
And
like,
walk into
she'd
the-
come home,
into the
she'd come to
bakery.
the pod one day, she'd come in with a cat. We have a cat now.
I love how you said we, because that would totally be awesome.
And then leave. That's it.
Yeah. Honestly, yes. I'd have, one of those baby carriers and just the cat there.
Yeah,
But
perfect.
There is a later scene where the kitten has brought her present, shall we say, and it had me doubling over with laughter. I could not believe I was laughing so much in this film. And it's just the way it's directed. You don't have to see anything. It's the reactions, it's the sound work, it's the choice of shots. So it's like the full package. It's the performance. You would expect, when something like that has happened to this character, for the character to react in a certain way. And Agnes doesn't react the way you normally expect a character in these type of films to. She internalizes it a lot more. It's so well done.
It's got a lot to say on SA, on trauma, on grief, of mental health. And it does it all. And you feel the drama of it, you feel the impact of it, and yet it will still make you laugh. It's not a comedy. This is like the film isn't a comedy. It's
in
more
a
of a
traditional
drama
sense.
than a comedy.
Yeah, it's a drama, but makes you.
Yeah, but it's really clever. The writing is so, it's very good. It's a very good film. Pleasantly surprised by this recommendation, Neil.
I mean, I recommend loads of great stuff all the time. It really feels like a throwback, shake your face, We need more. Yeah, we need more films like this that, while might not screen box office, they're sharply written character pieces that are entertaining and tackle difficult subjects with a fresh perspective. And I'm not sorry, this is number 4. And that brings us to number 3 in our top 10 films of 2025. And that film, well, it's a big old weapon. Well, with an S on the end. It's Weapons. That was terrible. This is a second film from Barbarian Zach Cregger, who cemented his status as one of the best up-and-coming horror directors to keep an eye on after Barbarian. Now, this film hooked us early days with a creepy as fuck trailer. Like, the marketing campaign for this was really good. It spelled out the film's premise on the poster. It literally says, one night, 17 children from the same class disappear from their homes at 2:17 a.m. There is only one child left, Alex Lilly. Suspicion falls on the class's teacher, Justine Gandy, played by the Silver Surfer herself, Julia Garner. And you know all that from the trailer and the poster. And you've got great turns by Josh Brolin as a concerned parent. I mean, you've got the Silver Surfer and Thanos in this, man. Like, you're just like, yay, Marvel, MCU. Oh, and Wong's in it as well. Wongers! You've also got a brilliant actor I hadn't seen in anything before, Austin Abrams. And he's got such a comedic role as this druggie who gets caught up with a police officer played by Alden Ehrenreich. And so good to see Alden Ehrenreich finally getting good work now as well.
Yes.
Because after Solo, he was given so much shit. Mm-hmm. And he's a brilliant actor. He's almost unrecognizable in this again. He's the character Paul the cop, and you forget it's Alden Ehrenreich playing him. Amy Madigan's iconic Aunt Gladys. Now, it's rare to see such a blend of genres in what really is billed as a horror film, but this film is split into chapters set from different characters' points of view, and therefore each chapter is quite different tonally. The film starts as like a mystery, asking the who, what, when, where, and why of the kids' disappearance, and we get Julia Garner's Miss Gandy given a really unexpected performance as a school teacher on Suspicion. She doesn't act the way you would expect this character to act in a film, which then draws you in for more intrigue. It then almost kind of moves into slapstick comedy with the expansion of the druggie and the cop storyline, and then you get the full kind of horror and the why revealed in the film's final chapters. And as I said in our review at the time, I was slightly underwhelmed by the eventual reveal of the who and why, but only because the first third of the film did such a good job setting up so many potential ways the story could have gone. I mean, the reveal makes complete narrative sense and is executed perfectly, so it's more a me problem than a film problem. And how many horror films drop the ball at the end? The final scenes of Weapons alternate between outright, oh my God, I can't believe I'm watching this horror, and slapstick comedy, sometimes cutting between shot to shot. You're like, and then you're laughing. Like, the audiences honestly didn't know how to react to it, and I think that was part of the appeal. It really nails the ending. Like, you're just like, oh, fuck, that was entertaining as anything. It's just an audaciously entertaining finale. David, pick your weapon.
My favourite thing about it is the Magnolia approach to how it does the storytelling. We just spoke about Paul Thomas Anderson. This film took a lot of inspiration from Magnolia in its way of displaying the narrative.
Craig has said that as well, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He came out to say that he was inspired by Magnolia, even to the point where the cop has the mustache, just like who plays the cop in
John C. Reilly.
Magnolia.
John
C.
Reilly.
Jose.
Oh, yeah.
Very young John C. Reilly.
There's a lot of like comparisons, but how the story, each individual character's story, and then they cross over between characters, and then you see it from the other character's perspective. But then you learn a little bit more of the mystery each time. You learn a little bit more of the horror of it each time. I do think the ending, like you said, isn't as strong as you kind of want it to be. There's something there that's just not perfect, which is why it's probably not number 1 or 2. Like, it's not why it's number 3 for me. Sorry, and not like number 2.
I think it's predictable. Once you kind of get the reveal, you kind of like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But
yeah,
the and one of the jump scares I didn't like.
Because you could see it coming a mile off.
Yeah. The film as a whole is just really well told, really well done, genuinely scary at times, and is the third, because it's been a fucking great, for me anyway, the third best horror film of the year. It's been a damn fine year for horror.
Wait, third best as in ranked third, or the third movie?
For me, third best horror film of the year. So, yeah.
On David's own personal top 10.
Gotcha.
And it also is the third best
I've already
film
had
of the year.
Nosferatu as number 1.
Yeah.
Because it was just my perfect kind of horror film.
I wonder what it could be his number 2. But that moves us on to
hold on,
the
hold
number
on.
2 film.
I want to give a little reaction to this.
I didn't think you'd seen it, Jose.
Dude, really?
You haven't seen
You haven't seen a lot of movies.
I saw Weapons twice, actually.
Oh shit!
I saw it once by myself and once with a friend, and I noticed that I reacted to the druggy character differently because in when I watched it by myself, the theater was kind of empty, and I was actually quite annoyed with him at first. And then the second time, I noticed everyone laughed at him, and I'm like, oh, I get it now. That's what he's supposed to be, is an idiot. You know,
on a second viewing, it really is even more enjoyable because then you know where it's going, so you can appreciate the construction of it even more.
Yeah, and I think as someone who doesn't normally watch horror, I think that's why I enjoyed it more. So I respect that you probably rank it a little lower in the horror sense, but for me, it's like it's not quite that gory as it could have been.
It's got some gore, man. It got
some gore, but like I think overall, like it kind of reserves its amount for certain situations. And I think that the filmmaker also, knowing that he made Barbarian, it's not as much of a surprise to see the ending that it got. And I think you see a pattern brewing here, and I think that's why I enjoyed it, because I enjoyed Barbarian as well. It was so far out of like left field, and then he just brings it together, and I'm like, all right, I'm in for the ride. So
I think what makes this different to most horror films is you don't get such a rich narrative structure and such good big name actors and really good performances in this type of film. If this didn't have the good script and it didn't have these actors in it, and they tried to tell a similar story, especially where the story ends up, you'd be like, oh, it's a B movie at best. It's like a straight to Netflix film.
What's crazy is not only did it have great actors, it actually had another set of great actors that just because of the writer's strike, they had to remove and then bring in other people. Did you know about
the original cast? Yeah. The original cast was completely different, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who that is?
I know Pedro Pascal was supposed to be Brolin's character, and that's about
Pedro
it.
Pascal. Oh, we went over it in the episode, didn't we, David?
Yeah,
we did.
It would have been a completely different movie.
And if you want to hear who it was supposed to be, go and listen to mine and David's Weapons spoiler special from earlier in the year.
Yeah. If I would have been a part of that episode, I would have been disagreeing with you so much.
Well, you should have seen it in the first week then, Jose.
I know.
Right, well, that moves us on to the number 2 film of the year. And this is a moment...
The 1 and 2, because...
let me get through this, Jose, without any interruptions. I'm warning you now. I will mute you, because I can do that, because I have the power.
Ooh, okay.
And here at number 2, and the moment it could all hit the fan, because at number 2 we have K-Pop Demon Hunters, a film that Marie made her whole personality until season 2 of Has Been Hotel thankfully came out. Jose said it was his favourite film of the year, but me and David didn't believe him. A film David said he quite enjoyed because he took his younger sister to see it. A film I fell asleep 30 minutes into it roughly and thought, do you know what? I can see what the fuss is about. It's perfectly tailored for its audience. I'm just not its audience, and that's fine. And I never went back to finish it. We don't all have to like the same stuff. Marie, tell me why you become obsessed with this film. Jose, I'm just going to blank you.
I mean, I think anything you know about it, this would have been like know of the film and know of me. This is a Marie film. Like the main character has purple hair. I'm currently without my purple hair, but it's gonna come back soon. It has a banging soundtrack, something that I did not expect.
Is it better than Has Been?
Ooh. That's see, K-pop is not usually my genre, but I have to say, I mean, what Has Been is more of a musical soundtrack, whereas like this is like, it's weird. I wouldn't call it a musical. I mean, the soundtrack. It still interweaves better. I love them both equally. I mean, they were like neck and neck on my Spotify Wrapped as well.
I mean, you're lucky because one's a TV show, one's a movie, so you can say both.
Exactly. I mean, and I'm thankful that I've got both. But everything about it is just like screams me. It's just such a fun film, but there are just so many other like things that I love about it. One of my just favorite thing about it is that you actually see women eating and going to town on food. That is just so important to show. Like, especially the fact that these are like massive stars, and when it comes to like the idol industry, like they have like there are certain rules. It's just so refreshing to just see people eating in a children's movie, and that's like like sounds weird to say, but it is also important. And then like another thing that I love about it is that it literally took the world by storm, and no one knew it would. Like the Netflix had so much little faith in this movie that they set up 0 licensing deals. So like K-pop Demon Hunters was like one of the number 1 Halloween costumes this year. None of those costumes were officially licensed because they didn't have an official licensing deal. They don't even have a toy deal out because they just didn't think. And I just love when like a little stupid movie about like people like K-pop demon hunters killing, about like idols killing demons, makes Netflix executives look stupid. I love that. And I just love that this movie like exploded on its own.
I got one thing, sorry, Marie. I just wanted to make sure you got right though. It was actually made by Sony Pictures Animation, and they are the ones who didn't have faith in it, and then Netflix bought it and made it into a big hit.
That is true. And also, I mean, now they lost so much money on it. I think
Oh, God, yeah.
what Netflix bought it for and what it made, it's just insane. That's why like you don't see any like toy deals like K-pop Demon Hunters toys yet, because they just didn't set up the deals yet. And it's, I mean,
I'm sure they'll be coming.
They are coming. They're coming, but it's. I mean, I'm against capitalism, but it's funny that they're coming out after Christmas because they fucked up so bad. Like it's just, I just love that little like thing. But yeah, there's so many. This is the movie that I've watched most this year. Until Has Been Hotel came
Oh, we
out.
know from the group chat.
Damn it. I mean, it's way, and every time I rewatch it, I notice new little details. I notice new little like little things that they put in the background, or like little like things that they animated in, and it's just so good. And then also like the soundtrack is just infectious.
Jose, you claimed this is your favorite film of the year as well.
Of the year, yes.
Me and David didn't believe you.
And that's really offensive.
Not that I think. Not that I. Isn't a
For
good
the
film.
record, I'm a Sony stan. I like a lot of the animations that animated films that Sony has put out. I absolutely love, like
You
Spider-Man,
mean Spider-Verse?
Spider-Verse.
Like
Are you gonna go see
clearly,
Drake's, Jose?
you know, I'm a huge fan. And the thing is these movies are so smart. Like, so I'm loosely connected to the K-pop community through a few friends that are like huge fans.
He's in the pocket of big K-pop. I knew it. He's been
So,
paid off.
I know like a few things about K-pop that like I've absorbed through just being friends with fans who like show me videos, so choreography, have told me histories. And so like I don't know much, but the fact that when I watch the movie, I'm like, hey, I get what they're talking about here. Oh, hey, that's a funny reference. And like the music is catchy, the characters are smartly written, and honestly, like the jokes are funny. Like it's really easy to just laugh, and to have that with this being such a specific like genre, I think it transcends a lot of stuff. Because like there's another movie that is supposedly better than this that I didn't feel like I was the market for it. And like I said it wasn't that bad movie. I just wasn't the target market. But this
you're
one,
not for
and that's
K-pop
the same-
Demon Hunters either. To be honest, like one thing about K-pop Demon Hunters is I generally forget it's a kids film. But so every time I see like kids, I was at a Christmas market yesterday, and all the little kids in the craft corner were drawing K-pop Demon Hunter characters. And there were these like little girls like ages like 6 and 5, and you could have an option to like embroider one of the characters on your shirt and stuff like that. I didn't know this was an option, so I didn't bring anything to embroider, and now I'm very sad. But it was just so cute.
It's really easy to enjoy, even as someone who's not really immersed in the iconography.
But that's so. What your point for liking it there, Jose, is exactly my point for not liking it. Is that I didn't connect with the music in it. But I can appreciate, okay, yeah, that is a catchy song, the couple I heard before I fell asleep. But again, nothing to do with the quality of the film. But I just, from what I'd watched of it, I was like, do you know what? This isn't for me. I can see it's really well made. I can see it's clever. And I think I even messaged you when I started watching, going, oh yeah, this is the most Marie-coded film I've ever seen. They're sitting on a couch eating ramen with purple hair. I think that's before, is that before you had seen it? Or
No,
you must
no,
have seen
no.
it before me.
I'd seen. I was the first one in the group to see it. I think by the time you've watched it, Neil, I saw it like 3 times. Like I literally saw it every night for a week.
So this is one of the ones that Marie had a super love for that I agreed with.
Oh.
That
Oh.
I also enjoyed and really enjoyed. If you'd have told me that there was a film coming out about a bunch of like a K-pop band that go around hunting demons, and I'd have enjoyed that, or just that film was being made in general,
Or it was
you'd have
would
been
be
like, "What the
good
fuck?"
in general.
Yeah,
Like,
like
just
yeah,
the
yeah. And then
title alone sounds so stupid.
it sounds so stupid, and it like if you was to say the plot to people, it is really dumb, and yet it's all really fucking good. The music's great.
It reminded me of Warrior Nun on Netflix. I was like, it can't be that good. It's like, this is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Like it can't be as good as everyone's saying it is, but it was. It's just genuinely really enjoyable. Golden, fucking fabulous song. What it sounds like, fabulous song.
Your
what's
Idol?
the Marie? What is that? Is that the ballad between
Soda Pop?
Oh no!
sorry.
Oh, so about the
What's
ballad
what's the
is
one
free.
between Rumi? Free. That freaking love that one. Yeah,
Oh, it's so beautiful.
really good song. Yeah, the animation, as Jose has said, from the Spider-Verse guys, on point. This really good. They've not really done I can't think of they haven't done a bad one yet, have they? I mean,
They've
Goat-
turned
I
it
mean,
around.
it takes them
turned-
so long to put one out. I don't think they had the opportunity
I'm looking
yet.
forward to Goat because Goat's from the same animators. I'm looking forward to that.
Was there anything in the chance of K-pop literally being this little side project they were doing when they were waiting for Spider-Verse to like kick on with all the delays on that?
Yeah, cool.
If
They've
it's
got
not a
Goat. Like they've got the Goat one with Steph Curry. That
okay.
film coming out soon. Very, very enjoyable film. Kid loved it. No, well, not Evelyn. Kira loved it. My little sister.
She will love it.
Me and Natasha both loved it. And it has had such a massive cultural impact on the country, on children in general. I feel like it's an impact that we would find hard to measure as a certain age group, because we aren't that age group, like in schools, where it will be like freaking everywhere. Like Marie sort of mentioned on Halloween, it was the biggest Halloween costume this year. This is sort of it's like just a touch upon how big of a cultural impact it's had on that generation. I feel like for that generation, it's going to be I don't even know what would be the comparison for us. Like that, I feel like we're all different generations, so
Yeah.
it's hard to say.
And talking animated films or just
like the Lion King, like for I mean, Lion King came out roughly when I was born.
That was when I was growing up.
Just one thing as well that's good about it. It's also an original. It's an original story. Like that's another thing. Like not a sequel, a remake, or something. It's an original story.
Now, before we reveal the number one film, my main argument against putting K-pop Demon Hunters as number one, and you're going to go, Neil, you snobby twat, as number one, my main arguments against it are, if you look at any of the major film critic lists of the year, no one is putting seriously K-pop Demon Hunters in the conversation for best film of the year. Best animated film? Absolutely yes. And I know you're going to point to the box office success of the soundtrack even outperforming Taylor Swift, but when has box office success and cultural impact also been the best film of the year? Very rarely do these two align. The last time I can think of where a film that was genuinely the best film of the year and also made a ton of money and had that massive one was probably when Lord of the Rings come out.
I think that's a very unfair argument because it's also a downside that this is this is animation. Animation
nothing
does
to do
not,
with it being animated.
No,
absolutely.
Animation does not have the same amount of critical success as normal. Name one award that goes to an animated voice actor. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
voice acting is not considered.
For that, as opposed to animated films in general.
No, voice
That's not my
acting is
point.
not considered the same level as acting. So that is not a very fair comparison.
But that's a different
Animation
argument
is
you're
not-
trying to make.
Yeah, but that's kind of a silly thing to say because you're not
No,
performing with your voice
no.
isn't going to be the same as performing.
Oh,
have
no,
you
no, no,
not
no, no,
played
no.
a video game with poor voice acting?
Oh well, no,
Like-
I have.
But you
No,
cannot-
You
everyone-
can
voice
tell the
acting
difference
takes-
between good voice acting and bad voice acting.
Yeah, and
What I'm
no.
saying is, if you're comparing it to a full performance compared to just a voice performance, if you're pairing a really good full performance against just a really good voice performance, which one's obviously going to win?
no.
It's not going to be
The
the
better
voice performance, is
performance
it? It's going to be
overall.
the full performance.
That's not a fair
Isn't it? I
comparison.
feel like
Voice
that's
acting
clear.
is
I feel like
not
that's
easy.
really
You have to communicate things.
No one's saying it's easy. I'm just saying it's a silly thing to say
bringing
that
it
it's
back
not
round
the
to
same.
the thing, Marie, absolutely agree with your point about voice acting. It is a thing where people should be awarded, but that's not the question, and that's not the defense of the film. That's not the reason I'm giving for the film. It's nothing against voice acting at all, and it's nothing against it being an animated film. For me, I would put Flow much higher up on my list than K-pop Demon Hunters, but that's because that type of film appeals much more to me. It's slower paced, it's more introspective. That's kind of and this is what I mean. This is why it can be number one in your personal lists. But if we generally look at it with this being a film review podcast, no one is putting K-pop Demon Hunters at number one anywhere. As seriously as the best film of the year.
But we're not serious media critics.
For me, personally, I couldn't seriously take putting that film at number one. That's my genuine opinion on it. Absolutely nothing against the quality of the film, against the animation, and I agree on the cultural impact of everything, but it's just not for me. And it's that simple. Now, also, Marie, you said in your Lisbon Film Festival roundup video that Flow was your favourite film of the year, which means it isn't K-pop Demon Hunters.
I said one of my favorite films of the year is that. I'm pretty sure I said that.
We could roll the tape here, David. We could roll the tape. But no, this leads me on to the film that me and David strongly felt was the best film of the year, and that is Ryan Coogler's Sinners. Right, and so I also brought a few more stats in, and again...
Isn't it arbitrary at this point, since you said that it just wasn't
Trying
for you?
He's trying to justify the cause,
Trying to justify
Jose. We're trying to
a
justify the reason.
I'm just bringing your words back to you. Like
I'm going to bring the word back to you in a minute, Jose, and it ends in
one.
off. If you go on the IMDb, Sinners has a Metascore of 84 from a 7.6 rating from 320k reviews. K-pop Demon Hunters has a score of 77 from 7.5 and 101k raters. Rotten Tomatoes, Sinners has a 97% critic rating, 96% fan rating, but that's from 25,000 votes. K-pop Demon Hunters has a 96% rating from only 92 reviews, but it has a 99% fan rating from 500 votes. That's a hell of a lot less people have. But again, there's a reason for all this voting that I'll explain at the end, where the stats go one way or the other. Letterboxd, Sinners has a 4.1 rating from 50k's worth of fan reviews. K-pop Demon Hunters has a 3.6 rating from only 7,009k reviews. Box office, again, this is completely unfair, and I understand that, because Sinners, 367 million, K-pop, 24 million, but it was only released for a couple of weekends after its streaming debut. And this proves the main thing. At the end of the day, it is a kids' film. Because all those critic rating sites there are generally adults. Kids aren't voting on this stuff. Kids aren't interacting with this film in the same way we are as adults, right? To a certain point. So kids aren't going on Letterboxd and rating it. They aren't going and leaving reviews anywhere. They're talking about it. They're getting into all the lure of it, and they're getting into the world of it, which is absolutely what kids should do with film. Kids should do with films. But let's get on to Sinners. So, right. Ryan Coogler's period horror film about twin brothers Smoke and Stack, both played by Michael B. Jordan, is this year's best film. Why? When was the last time you saw a 1930s set, mainly African-American vampire film, a world so stunningly crafted on screen, you could have easily watched 10 hours of this film before the vampires even turned up. You could have even watched this without vampires turning up, and it still would have been one of the best things you watched. I could have happily watched a 10-hour show on HBO of just these two brothers running away from the mob in Chicago and opening up their own juke joint back home. That's how good the world building was. And the music. The music is one of my most played soundtracks of the year from films, just like the K-pop Demon Hunters and Has Been After You. Ludwig Göransson, though, again proves his mastery. He mixes blues, he mixes the phenomenal talents of the cast as well, with Miles Catton's Sammy Moore's breathtaking performance. Haley Steinfeld being 1/8 black in real life and having that worked into her character. And it's just brilliant. And how she absolutely tortures her previous Disney image here with some of the most shocking dialogue you'll hear of the year. For me, the best scene I've seen all year is a Jew joint scene, where what begins as Sammy's performance and it blends into a mix of the past, the present, and the future of black music. It's truly one of the greatest scenes that mixes music and image I've seen in years. Probably the only thing actually I would say that comes close in recent years, and it's from a film that critically everyone kind of hated, which is funny because it's kind of that same kind of audacious swing that they're taking, is the end montage of Babylon, if anyone's seen Babylon. You remember it? No? It's got a scene where you're just like, what in the fuck am I watching? That's really clever. That's really cool. More people should see this. That's what that seems like with Sinners, except I think with Sinners, people have really kind of got into it. It's been given its flowers. People are like, no, this is fucking brilliant. Also, using vampires as a way to further explore the cultural exploitation and appropriation of black culture is just chef's kiss in terms of scripting. We've never seen that before anywhere, have we? And the counterpoint of Remick being an Irish immigrant and how seductive his plea is to the inhabitants of the juke joint, he almost makes sense. Like, you're sitting there going, do you know what? He's not saying anything wrong, but he is, because he's still an exploiter. And it was a hell of a year for Jack O'Connell in horror films as well, man. His appearance here and his scene in 28 Years Later as well. David, Sinners.
The biggest compliment I can give Sinners is that I cannot think of a single negative point to say about it. Not one negative thing to say about this film. It's the biggest surprise, I think, for myself in the cinema this year, as a full film anyway, because I'm not the type of person that likes the music that's on it. I'm not the type of person that particularly likes these type of films, but I'm not that big a fan on the typical vampire story anyway. I don't like Nosferatu is, but that how they do it in this anyway isn't something that I usually like. And like you said, they don't even have to have it for it to be a great film. But the fact that they do have it and they add that little bit, that element of horror to it at the end, I really enjoyed it. Everything about it. For Jack O'Connell was the star of the film for me, outside of Michael B. Jordan. I really like him in this. I really hope his career after the Dong Temple as well is going to be just sky high, because he was very good early on in his career and he sort of just disappeared for a while. So I hope
he's always been really good in everything he's done.
Resurgence for him, yeah. For me, second best horror film of the year, second best film of the year for myself, personally.
I mean, yeah, for me, this was my number one film. I saw it twice in the cinema, and then I've waited for the 4K Blu-ray to come out. I got the limited edition steelbook that sold out the day it was announced, and you could sell it for like a shitload of money on eBay as well at the minute. But I am not. I am keeping it, and because it is. I think I've watched it 4 or 5 times this year now. I've watched it at least 3 times since I've got in. But Jose, you watched it because you and me did the pod about it. So me and David haven't actually talked about Sinners before,
yes.
because he didn't see it in the first place. You and me did the pod about it,
yes.
And you liked it, but you didn't have the same pull of the music.
So
is that fair to say?
In general, it's a solid movie. I can't say that it's a bad movie. It's not. And I know that when we did our tier list, I did give it an A tier instead of S tier. And it's me just being nitpicky, but still, if
I thought it was you being a bag of dicks.
I mean, here's the thing: is if we're gonna claim it as being the film of the year, it needs to be completely polished. And compared to the film that I chose as number one, K-pop Demon Hunters, script is tight, funny, things are well done. With Sinners, I feel like when you look at certain things with movies, you say show, don't tell. And I feel like there were certain parts where they told instead of showed. And I'm not saying it was huge, but I'm saying to the point where if you're gonna claim that this is the number one movie of the year, I want it to be perfect. I want it to be polished. And it just wasn't that. And again, the music aspect, definitely I'm not the demographic. The cultural aspect, I'm not the demographic. So again, like, I'm going to use your own words, it just wasn't for me in terms of claiming it to be the number one. But again, it is an amazing movie. Like, I can't take that away from it. So we were going to have that disagreement on the number one aspect. That's the only thing.
Agree. Have you seen Sinners?
Yes.
I
It's
can't
the only
remember.
one we've all seen, Neil.
That's
We've
Which
been
is
there
again
for a
another
while.
reason why it's number one.
That was
because
one of
we've
your
all
selling
actually
points.
seen it, and we all enjoyed it, aside from Jose.
Hey,
But
we have
even
been
Also,
there
Jose
for
before
enjoyed
we
it because
get
he gave
into
it
it,
an 8
I need
out
to
of 10.
take my lasagna out of the oven. I did enjoy it, and to be honest, I wouldn't actually call it a horror movie. So you guys got away with that. With the one horror movie thing of the year. I also actually do agree with like Jose. I didn't think it was perfectly polished. I mean, I think one of like the big negatives against it is the vampire hunters they introduced at the beginning just fucked off and never got introduced again.
They were
Like,
smart vampire hunters. They were like, we've warned you.
Uh,
All right, you're not going to listen to us.
they gave up on their job. Like, oh, you're only going to do it when
Yeah.
it's
No, they were
convenient.
Native American vampire hunters. They had to get back home safely before dark.
but and then just leaving people to fend for themselves. I mean,
Yeah.
like they're sleeping soundly in bed when there's a massacre going on. And but I did like it. I mean, to be honest, we're arguing, but if you think about it deeply, they're the exact same film. I mean,
Uh-oh.
like both are about
Music?
music. Both are about how demons use music to influence people.
Oh my god.
Like yeah, both like have
Oh, they're
um,
both culturally relevant to the people that they represent.
exactly. I mean,
Korea
they're
and
quite
the African American community.
Yeah.
exactly. Both based on lore. Both of them are nominated as best song as the Golden Globes. So I mean, they're kind of neck and neck. But I mean, I did have a fun time with it. For me, the unfortunately, because I watched this in Portugal, it means it has an intermission. And so the attacks start exactly like past the halfway point. And I just wanted it maybe to start a little bit more sooner, like have that vampire plot a little bit more soon, interwoven. But other than that, like, I mean, yeah, the performances were out of this world. I completely forgot
Set
that
design,
set design, costuming.
costume. Yeah.
Costume. I mean, it did win me over. The costuming again, completely forgot that Michael B. Jordan wasn't a twin. I mean, because that was a flawless performance.
It's funny how Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan have worked together so many times, and yet I would say this is easily their best collaboration, easily.
It's also funny that it's like, I mean, obviously that's the whole point of acting, but it's always also very different performances. Like usually, like when like a director and an actor like work together, it's like you know what
De Niro,
to expect.
Scorsese.
Like exactly, you know
the
what you're
same.
gonna get, but they bring out different sides out of each other, like which I think is good.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Ryan Coogler's filmography, and it doesn't go where you expect it to go. Like, he's got his superhero stuff done. He's then gone off and done his drama. He's done his boxing stuff, and then he's now moving on to whatever the hell he wants to do because he can basically write his own check now. And
Yeah.
he is. He's yeah. I mean, I was about to say he's almost like the Jordan Peele of horror, but Jordan Peele was the Jordan Peele of horror.
Dare I say, I agree. This isn't a horror movie because in vampire
Dude, it's got
movies-
vampires in it. And
Okay,
bloody...
hold on. Let me make my
It's a
point
horror
here.
film.
Let me make my point.
But it's got
In-
sexy vampires, so it's not a
yes.
horror.
Yes. Vampire movies, you're usually worried about being eaten and killed. Not one person was killed other than like they were transformed. They were added
they
to
were
the
turning
posse.
them.
I mean,
Well,
that's
yeah,
still a
That's not
version
supposed
of
to be a
death.
common.
The eternal death that never
Yeah.
comes.
But I mean, it's like,
I was
oh,
about to say,
it's
how many
not
vampire
as
films have you watched
scary
so
if you're
far?
gonna have the opportunity for eternal life, you know.
As a demon, is a
Yeah.
but you-
vampiric
I'll,
blood.
stay
I'll
young.
give you the it's not scary.
It's not scary.
I'll give you that. If you're warning into this, going into it thinking it's a horror film,
What about those initial
And you're
jump cuts in the
expecting to
church?
be
That made everyone jump
scared.
every
But
time.
that's
It didn't
suspenseful.
me. I survived that.
Hey,
Right, in that case, we're going to make you watch horror.
but I mean, again,
I mean,
Where does
it
that
was
next?
so scary. Don't ever make me sit through that again.
but again, this is just me nitpicking, but it allows me to have a nitpick, you know.
No,
and then-
you're not allowed to nitpick, Jose. Go and
The-
get your hair shaved. You've got lice.
The
Right.
trailer for Sinners,
Great.
I thought you thought it was great.
Mhm.
I thought it was not great.
I don't know.
Same.
I,
I mean,
thought the trailer didn't do anything for me. The trailer
We-
didn't sell it to me. Nothing. Didn't want to make.
Well, it
me
didn't
watch
give
the film.
away
In fact, I
anything.
actually forced myself to go and watch this.
Did it
Because
give
I had
away
no
the
interest
vampire
in it.
reveal in the trailer? I
It-
can't remember.
I mean, it did horror. We actually like talked about it in the most
There was two
anticipated.
trailers, wasn't it? The first one didn't, and then I think the second one did give
Yeah,
it away.
yeah.
Oh yeah, because
And I
Haley
remember-
Steinfeld was said, "Oh,
Ah,
you're all
yes,
gonna."
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
The
yeah,
trailer,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
sold more like the church aspect of it, like
Mm.
like it's just the religious aspect of it, which is not really a big part, except the fact that his
No.
father is a preacher.
I feel they were that confident in what they had. They was like, we don't need to give everything away. And then for that first trailer, then the studio was like, no, it's a gamble. Tell people it's a vampire
Vampires.
film. Sexy Haley Steinfeld vampire, so you know,
vulgar mouth Haley Steinfeld vampire.
just filth, pure filth.
I mean, I was shocked.
Right. Well, I'm amazed that everyone is still talking to each other. We'll see what happens in the new year. All right, that is us done for the final episode of the We Need a Rose podcast of 2025. I'd like to thank my co-host here today. Marie, where can people find you on the socials?
You can find me under the handle Life on Mars. That is TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And yes, my TikTok account is still restricted. If anyone knows how to get it unrestricted, I would really appreciate it. Customer service has started to ignore me.
Just started. It seems like it's months now.
No, it's been months.
Jose, where can people find you? No pressure.
You can find my personal Instagram at Spanish Joe, my photography Instagram at Jose Lopez Photos, and the website that doesn't have J Lopez photos, and the website that doesn't have Jennifer Lopez wedding photos yet, jlopezphotos.com. I almost made it through.
Son of a bitch.
Proud of you, Jose.
David, where are you?
I am in my bedroom. No, I'm not. I'm in my office. But fuck
been
that
that long.
somehow as well.
It's
I
spreading.
am
I'm
at-
contagious.
Instagram at We Needed Roads, and I'm on Blue Sky under long.d at Blue Sky.
Well, if you want more We Needed Roads nonsense, you can find us everywhere. We're on Twitter at Needed Roads. We're on Instagram and TikTok at the We Needed Roads podcast. And you can follow me personally at Neil_Gregory78 on Instagram and Threads, where it's generally podcasts, pictures, posts, cinema trips, videos, and stuff from lots of gigs I go to. We Needed Roads is available on all major podcast platforms.
Shit, someone's house is burning down. Whose house is burning down?
That's me.
We Needed Roads is available on all major podcast platforms. We'd love it if you subscribe to us on YouTube and gave us a follow on Spotify, where you can see the full video episodes as well as hear us. And don't forget, once you've followed and subscribed, let us know what you thought of our list of the top films of 2025. Did you agree? Did you disagree? Did you throw a speaker out the window in disgust? Whatever your reaction, let us know and leave us a comment on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. We've been We Needed Roads, and we'll be back before you can say, my God, I can't believe we got through that with everyone alive.
We Needed Roads.